Eso. Venga. 5, venga. 1, 2.
I know there's always the argument of dethroning the champion, whether you think that's a thing or not. You know, I'm not sure I felt that Bud Crawford dethroned Israel Madrimov tonight.
Today, we're diving deep into the ongoing discussions about Terence Crawford, his incredible career, and his potential move up in weight. Let's get right into it. Terence Crawford remains undefeated and is considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. His ability to switch stances seamlessly, combined with his high ring IQ, has made him a nightmare for opponents. He's held titles in multiple divisions and has taken down elite fighters like Jeff Horn and Amir Khan. But as he prepares to step into a new weight class, concerns are rising about how this transition might impact his fighting style.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a fantastic fight. You know, 2 generational greats, 2 pound-for-pound greats. I do think the weight will be too much for Terence. I think even in the Madrimov fight, you saw that physically, I think he's, you know, even at 154, he's not a big 154. He's definitely not a big 160, and he's definitely not even a small 168. So, but he has got unbelievable skill. And he's got a huge boxing IQ, but so has Canelo Alvarez. So I do give him the edge in that fight.
Do we see a stoppage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, wow.
If Canelo's active in the fight, depends. He's got to get to him early. Yeah. Terence will be moving his feet, and Canelo won't like that. You know, he wants you to come and fight him.
Right.
British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, the mastermind behind some of the biggest fights in the sport, has weighed in on Crawford's potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Hearn believes the fight could be dangerous for Crawford due to the significant weight difference. While Crawford's skill set is undeniable, Canelo's size and power at 168 pounds could prove to be overwhelming. According to Hearn, if Canelo applies pressure early, he could stop Crawford in the later rounds. However, other experts like Sean Porter believe Crawford's skill and adaptability might give him a fighting chance. Crawford's training camp has been focused on adapting to his new weight class. The biggest question remains, will the additional weight affect his speed and agility? Moving up in weight has been a challenge for many fighters, often resulting in a loss of speed and endurance. Crawford has always relied on his quick footwork and lateral movement, but carrying extra weight could slow him down and reduce his effectiveness in the ring. Fighters who move up in weight must also make mental adjustments, altering their strategy to deal with bigger and stronger opponents. Eddie Hearn has also been actively working behind the scenes to ensure the business side of the fight runs smoothly. From negotiations to promoting the event, his involvement is crucial in maximizing the visibility and impact of the matchup. With Hearn's influence, this fight has the potential to be one of the most anticipated boxing events in recent history. Many boxing analysts have weighed in on Crawford's move up in weight. Some believe his natural ability and adaptability will allow him to overcome the challenges, while others are skeptical. The biggest concern is whether he can maintain his speed and endurance against bigger opponents. Fighters like Canelo bring more power to the table, meaning Crawford will have to rely heavily on his ring IQ and tactical skills to avoid getting overwhelmed.
405. 405. There you go.
A major concern for Crawford is how the additional weight will impact his stamina. He is known for his high work rate and ability to maintain sharpness throughout a fight, but carrying extra mass could drain his energy reserves faster. In longer fights, fatigue could set in earlier than expected, affecting his overall performance and ability to finish strong. Defensively, Crawford may also face issues. His ability to slip punches and use lateral movement has been key to his success, but with added weight, he could find himself getting hit more often by stronger opponents.
Without the strap. Okay. Shit.
Another key challenge is the psychological aspect of stepping into a new weight class. Fighters often have to adjust not only their bodies, but their mindsets when moving up. Many fellow boxers have shared their thoughts on Crawford's weight gain in upcoming fights. Canelo Alvarez himself has acknowledged Crawford's skills, but has pointed out that fighting bigger opponents is an entirely different challenge. He stated, "Terence is an incredible fighter, but moving up in weight is a whole different challenge. I think his speed and movement, which are his biggest strengths, might be affected by the extra weight. In the higher divisions, the power is much stronger, and Crawford might struggle with the increased pressure. It's not just about skill, it's about surviving those hard punches, and that could make it a tough adjustment for him. Crawford's biggest strengths, speed, and movement might be affected by the added weight." Vasily Lomachenko, known for his precise footwork and technical ability, thinks Crawford has the intelligence and adaptability to succeed, but warns that he must avoid trying to outmuscle bigger opponents. He also said, "Moving up in weight is difficult for anyone, but I believe Terence Crawford has the intelligence and adaptability to make it work. He's a master of distance control and can adjust his tactics when needed. If he sticks to his boxing fundamentals and doesn't try to outmuscle his opponents, he could be successful. He has the skills to overcome the size difference, just like I did in my own career." Shakur Stevenson, a rising star in the lightweight division, has praised Crawford's versatility and believes he can adjust to the weight class. However, he acknowledges that the opponents Crawford will face will be stronger and more powerful, making strategy and footwork more crucial than ever. Stevenson also stated, "Crawford is one of the most skilled boxers in the world, and I think his versatility will help him adjust to the new weight class. However, it won't be easy. The opponents he faces will be bigger and stronger, so he'll need to rely on his boxing IQ and footwork more than ever. If anyone can make the transition, it's Terence, but it'll definitely be a challenge." Whereas Gervonta Tank Davis has a different perspective, stating that heavier fighters will hit harder, and if Crawford's speed slows down, he could get caught with big punches that could change the course of a fight. He mentioned, "Stepping up in weight means facing bigger punchers, and I think that could be a problem for Crawford. He's a great boxer, no doubt, but the added weight might slow him down and make him easier to hit. If someone like me, who hits hard, lands clean shots on him, it could be a long night. He has to be careful not to get too comfortable with his movement or he could get caught." However, Devin Haney, another top lightweight contender, sees Crawford's technical skills as a major asset, but worries that the extra weight might impact his agility. He believes Crawford can still be dangerous if he makes the necessary adjustments, but it won't be an easy transition. Haney also stated, "Terence Crawford is a brilliant boxer, but moving up in weight might affect his speed and agility. The extra mass could slow him down, and in the higher weight divisions, opponents are bigger and stronger. However, Crawford has elite skills, and if he adapts his style and uses his ring IQ, I believe he can still be dangerous. It's all about how he adjusts to the power and size of his opponents." In addition to the debate, Tyson Fury, a heavyweight champion, has also commented on the matter, stating that moving up in weight changes everything. He emphasizes that the power difference at higher weight classes is significant, and Crawford must be extremely cautious in the ring to avoid being overpowered. Fury also mentioned, "Terence Crawford is an incredible fighter, no doubt, but stepping up in weight can change everything. Bigger guys hit harder, and the power difference is significant. Crawford's speed and intelligence are his greatest assets, but in these higher weight classes, it's all about who can take a punch and who can dish it out. He'll need to be at the top of his game and use his skills to avoid getting into exchanges where he could be out-muscled. It's a big challenge, but Terence is a true champion." Mikey Garcia, a former champion in multiple weight classes, agrees that the transition won't be easy. He said, "Moving up in weight is always tough. Crawford's got great skill and boxing IQ, but the bigger the opponent, the harder it is to maintain that same level of speed and movement. The extra weight could affect his agility, and when you're facing heavier hitters, that's a big factor. I think he'll have to be very strategic to make up for the size disadvantage, relying on his footwork and timing, but it's going to be a tough transition for him." He also highlights that while Crawford has elite skills, the added weight could slow him down and make it harder to execute his usual game plan. While Jermell Charlo, an undisputed super welterweight champion, echoes this sentiment, warning that facing bigger fighters means dealing with their strength and power, something Crawford hasn't fully experienced yet. Charlo also stated, "Crawford's a fantastic fighter, but jumping in weight classes isn't easy for anyone. The power and strength of these bigger guys are something he hasn't really dealt with yet. His speed is a big advantage, but he's going to be in there with guys who can really hurt him, especially if he's slower because of the weight gain. He's going to have to adjust adjust quickly and fight smart, otherwise it could be a long night for him. Considering that, Errol Spence Jr., a top welterweight champion, respects Crawford's skills but believes the strength and power of higher weight classes will pose a significant challenge. He thinks Crawford might retain a technical advantage but will need to adapt quickly. Spence stated, "Terence Crawford is one of the best to ever do it, but moving up in weight is a whole different game. The strength and power you face at higher weight classes is unlike anything he's used to. I think he might still have the technical advantage, but dealing with the size and power will be a challenge. If he doesn't adjust his style to handle that, it could be a tough transition for him, but we'll see how he handles it once he steps into the ring." Even Josh Taylor, a former undisputed super lightweight champion, also points out that while Crawford is highly skilled, adjusting to a new weight class requires more than just skill. It's about how the body adapts to the extra weight and how he handles the increased pressure. He further said, "Terence has been at the top for years, and I respect his talent, but when you move up in weight, you face different challenges. The power, the stamina, and the way bigger fighters fight will test Crawford in ways he hasn't been tested before. His skills are elite, but it's all about how his body adapts to the extra weight. If he can keep his movement and timing intact, he might still pull it off, but I think it will be a tough adjustment for him." Joe Rogan recently weighed in on Terence Crawford's weight gain, sparking discussions among fight fans about the implications of his move up in weight. On a recent episode of his podcast, Rogan praised Crawford's impressive physical transformation, pointing out that bulking up for a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez could significantly impact his fighting style. While he acknowledged Crawford's elite skill set, Rogan expressed concerns about the challenges that come with moving up multiple weight classes. He emphasized that while adding size can be beneficial, it also brings potential drawbacks, particularly when facing naturally bigger and more powerful opponents. Rogan noted that the real test would be whether Crawford can maintain his speed, endurance, and technical sharpness at a higher weight. He also stressed the importance of a carefully planned training regimen to ensure the added mass translates effectively in the ring.
I mean, just the way you controlled, the way you switched things up, the way you controlled the pace of the fight, the defense, your defense was on point. Those hooks that you were landing in close were magnificent. It was a brilliant fight, man. I mean, I'm sure you appreciate it. I'm sure you watched it a bunch of times, but man, that was like a real, because it was such a mainstream fight, such a huge fight where everybody was paying attention to it and talking about it, even casuals, that they got to see you perform that way. And you know, now it's like there's no dispute.
The general consensus among these fighters is a mix of respect for Crawford's abilities and concern about the challenges he'll face in a higher weight class. While many believe he has the skills to succeed, the unknown factor remains whether the added weight will slow him down and make him more vulnerable to bigger, stronger opponents. The upcoming fight is expected to be a defining moment in Crawford's career.
4 times Terence Crawford showcased his impressive strength when he showcased his wrestling versatility against a younger wrestler. When he deadlifted 405 pounds or 184 kgs in his casual clothes. When he deadlifted 445 pounds or 206 kilograms at the gym. When he wrestled and pinned a member from Team Kazakhstan. What's your thoughts on Terence Crawford? Make sure to follow FTC Boxing for more.
Getting closer to the potential showdown, all eyes are on Crawford to see how he handles this new challenge. Will his boxing IQ and skill be enough to overcome the power and size of his new opponents, or will the weight gain prove to be a hurdle he can't overcome? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the latest boxing news.